This is a quick overview of the Access One project. In this project, I pretty much walk you through everything that you need to do to get the project done using the exact same data. So it's more of a follow along type of a project. So the first thing to note on this overview page is that if you're a Mac user, Mac users don't have access. It's just not available. So you can do your project at the USF library using a flash drive to save it, or a public library by your house probably has a Microsoft Office suite with Access in it, or you can use USF software on the clouds. It's called Citrix. And if you're using Citrix, I've got some instructions here that you can read, and they're not very complicated. The most complicated part is being sure that you save it correctly. So be sure to read over all the instructions, paying particular attention to those parts that talk about saving your work. Once you've got this project all done, I've put a PDF here so you can check all of your results. So you might want to use that as well, just to be sure that all your queries look good, everything is done correctly. But pretty much, as I said, the videos walk you through everything. So in this project, there's three main parts. The first part is creating a database, importing the data, and doing some data validation and creating some relationships. So if I were you, I would kind of break this project into three parts as well if you've given yourself enough time, and do that first part and then either put it away and work on something else, take a break, go for a walk, clear your head, whatever. The second part of the project is creating this query and creating a form, but that's a real easy thing. A form kind of asks questions about the data, what's in there, and lets you input data, and the queries definitely let you query or ask questions about your data. So that would be the second part, creating the form, which is pretty straightforward, and then creating queries. So what these queries are, part 5, are just all different ways that you can ask questions about the data and get your results. Pretty straightforward, but these take a little bit of time to play around with. But again, I'm showing you the formulas, so you should be okay on that, or the criteria. And then the last part is creating a report. So what you do is use a report wizard to create the report, and then you go back and modify it and move everything around so that it looks good. Additional tips are what we use in the Access 2 project. When you're done, you're going to have a database that looks like this, and you're going to submit this file. You want to be sure that Access is closed and this file is closed, and that you have one file in your folder. Access creates a temporary file when you're working on it, and then when you close everything up, it combines the temporary with the regular file. So you want to be sure that you have one file and it ends with .accdb. And if you're not showing your file extensions on all of your files on your personal laptop, then you might want to Google how to do that, because it makes everything a little bit easier when you actually see the endings to all these file names. So anyway, you're going to submit that one file. It's going to be your last name, first initials, underscore 1ac.accdb. Submit that to Canvas, and it should look like this. So you're going to have your three tables. And then if we look at the design views, they should be set up correctly. Close these out. Then you're going to have all of these queries, which just ask questions, and the PDF shows you the results of all the queries. You're going to have this view all, and what this query is just all the data that you're going to use to create your report. And then this one down here, it's called Wildcard Demo. That's just one that I use in an explanation, so you won't have that in your database. There's a quick form. Use that, do that using the form wizard. And then the last part is just creating your report. So before you edit it, your report looks like something like this. Not very attractive looking. And then after you edit it, your report looks like this. So I just keep both in there just as an example, but this is what your final report should look like when you submit it. And that is pretty much the whole project. Again, just work through all of these tips, and then the Access 2 project uses a lot of these same techniques. So if you do this one and you get it down, the Access 2 project will be a lot easier. So let us know if you have any questions.